Hey guys, I'm so happy we are meeting again in our weird school for the weird people who want to read Russian classics in the original. Today we're going to have fun, continue having fun, with Alexander Pushkin, Пиковая дама, the Queen of Spades. Now, please open your printed version of the story. And if you don't have it printed yet, please open the link below this video. But actually, our courses here do require that you print it out, because we are into learning interactively, marking things, writing the definitions of the expressions, etc. Now, I'm going to show you where we stopped the last time, and then I'm going to remind you what is happening here in the story, so even if you are a new student, you can still join us and have fun. So look, you need to find, and that's a mission impossible, I know, but you will have to do that, Anna Fedotovna. Yeah? This sentence, look. А если кто для меня непонятен, так это моя бабушка, графиня Анна Федотовна. Because if I'm not mistaken, that was our last sentence the last time. So you can click Control F, and then you can type in, for example, the word Anna. And it will bring you right here, because that's the first time in the story that he mentions Anna Fedotovna. Now, the setting of the story is a house of a guy where people play cards. And they discuss different things related to card games. So they were talking about one German guy named German. German is his name. It doesn't mean German, because German in Russian would be Немец. Remember from the last time, from our last lesson, Герман немец. So German is a German. Он расчетлив, вот и все. So he is calculative, and that's it. Заметил Tomsky, noted Tomsky. So that's where we stopped the last time. Tomsky was one of the players there. And basically the story takes place when they talk about card games while eating very, very late. Or rather, very early, like they had been playing all night long, and they had their either dinner or kind of breakfast around 5 a.m. So they are sitting, eating, and talking, and that one of the guys, his family name is Tomsky, is saying this very intriguing sentence. А если кто для меня непонятен, так это моя бабушка, графиня Анна Федотовна. So that was our last sentence, and so I'm just reminding you that непонятен means incomprehensible. So he's saying, and if someone is incomprehensible for me. So кто, just reminding you from the last lesson, кто means someone here in this case. It doesn't mean who. It's not a question. But if someone is incomprehensible for me, для меня, так это, it is, так это means it is, моя бабушка, my grandma, графиня, графиня means countess. You know graf, count, C-O-U-N-T, countess. Countess Anna Fedotovna. And basically they are discussing card-playing habits of people. Now, I'm going to read, look, today we're going to have this part, starting with как, что, and ending with ее жестокости. So that's our part for today. So just look at the screen, please, and you can mark it on your printed materials. That's our target for today. I'm going to read it for you for the first time. And then we are going to dig very, very deeply. And you're going to comprehend it close to 100%. «Как? Что?» – закричали гости. «Не могу постигнуть», – продолжал Томский. «Каким образом бабушка моя не понтирует?» «Да что ж тут удивительного», – сказал Нарумов, – «что 80-летняя старуха не понтирует». Так вы ничего про нее не знаете? Нет, право ничего. О, так послушайте. Надобно знать, что бабушка моя лет 60 тому назад ездила в Париж и была там в большой моде. Народ бегал за нею, чтобы увидеть «La Venus Moscovite». Ришелье за нею волочился, и бабушка уверяет, что он чуть было не застрелился от ее жестокости. So, as I'm always saying, don't worry if you didn't get much. Now you will get it. So we have this guy Tomsky, one of the guys playing cards in this mansion, talking about his grandma, the Countess Anna Fedotovna. Как? Что? Закричали гости. So that's easy. How? What? Shouted the guests. Не могу постигнуть, продолжал Томский. Постигнуть means it's a kind of an obsolete or more literary word, meaning to understand. Like in modern Russian, they would say, how would you say in modern Russian? I can't understand. Я не могу понять, не могу понять. But постигнуть is the same as понять. Understand, comprehend. So не могу понять. I can't. He's talking about himself, even though he is not saying I. I can't understand. Продолжал Томский. Продолжал means continued. Continued Томский. Каким образом бабушка моя не понтирует? So, каким образом? You can underline this expression, каким образом, and it means how come. How come? So, how come my grandma now не понтирует? Понтировать, that's a word that was common some 100 or 150 years ago in the card game realm, and it means to bet on one card. To bet on one card, to put your money on a particular card in a card game. So, каким образом бабушка моя не понтирует would mean how come my grandma doesn't put her money on a particular card while she plays cards. Да что тут удивительного? I'm sorry, I will just repeat the previous sentence, so that you get the whole picture. Не могу постигнуть, продолжал Томский, каким образом бабушка моя не понтирует. So I can't comprehend, continued Tomsky, how come my grandma doesn't bet on a card. Что ж тут удивительного, сказал Нарумов, что 80-летняя старуха не понтирует. Что ж тут удивительного? You can underline all that as one expression. And it means, what is surprising here? Like, basically meaning it is not surprising. But he's asking that as a question, kind of a rhetorical question. So, what is surprising here? Now, if we actually want to divide it into words, it goes like that. Удивительного comes from удивительный, which is surprising. Тут means here. Что ж, what? Что ж, it's like что, but je just strengthens the word что, like strengthens the intention or the emotion. And da doesn't mean yes here. It's a kind of a connecting word. It's a kind of and. So if we really want to analyze that, he's saying, and what here surprising? And what is surprising here? But he means, but it's not surprising, сказал Нарумов. It's not surprising, so said Нарумов, one of the players, что 80-летняя старуха не понтирует. Now we have here this expression, 80-летняя старуха, and it is equivalent in the expression in the modern Russian 80-летняя старуха. So 80, so first of all 8, you know, that's 8, right? Now in the old Russian, восемь, they said осемь, осемь. You see, they don't use this word anymore. But then obviously 80-летняя старуха. Старуха basically means old lady. Старуха, old lady. That would be 80-летняя старуха. That would be an old lady who is 80 years old. And 80-летняя, that's the same, because 8 in the old Russian was 8. Understand? So basically 80-летняя, you can underline it, and you can write above that 80 years old. So now you will get all this sentence. Да что ж тут удивительного, сказал Нарумов, что 80-летняя старуха не понтирует. But what is surprising here, said Narumov, that an old lady, an 80-year-old old lady, doesn't bet on a card. Так вы ничего про нее не знаете? So, так, you probably know that it means so. Так, so. That's pretty much like modern sentence. So, you nothing about her don't know. That's a Russian structure. Like in proper English, that would be, so you don't know anything about her. Yeah, because ничего means anything. Про нее about her. Вы means you. He's addressing the crowd. Не знаете? Don't know. Так вы ничего про нее не знаете? So you do not know anything about her? Нет. Нет, право ничего. Право, it's an obsolete word meaning indeed. So they're answering no, indeed nothing. О, так послушайте. So, так послушайте. So listen. So I'm just reminding you that Tomsky, a guy named Tomsky, is now telling a story about his grandma. So Tomsky says, надобно знать, что бабушка моя лет 60 тому назад ездила в Париж и была там в большой моде. Надобно знать, it's a kind of an obsolete expression, so знать means to know. Надобно, it's like надо. Like you, надо means, in Russian, means should or a must. So надобно знать, there is a must, there is a need to know. But in English we would say, you have to know. Just notice that надобно is an impersonal, so you do not, he's not saying who should know. It's like there is a need to know. Надобно. So надобно, there is a need. So there is a need to know, что бабушка моя, that my grandma, лет 60 тому назад, so тому назад, back then, so тому назад, basically it means back, when you talk about time periods, or ago. So лет 60, I'm just reminding you something. So first of all, 60 means 60, obviously. Now, if he said 60 лет тому назад, that would be exactly 60 years. But because he puts let before the number, before the word 60, he means about 60 years back, about 60 years ago. So when you have the word let in Russian before the number, it means about. It conveys the idea of about. Therefore, he is saying, надобно знать, что бабушка моя лет 60 тому назад, so тому назад means back, you should know that my grandma, about 60 years back, ездила в Париж. So she went, ездила means went, using some kind of a vehicle, в Париж. So went to Paris. И была там в большой моде. So в большой моде, in a great fashion. So, and was there, meaning in Paris, in great fashion. So basically she was really, basically meaning she was popular. So в большой моде if in big fashion doesn't sound well to you in English, you can just write above that very popular. Very popular. Now you will get this whole sentence. Надобно знать, что бабушка моя лет 60 тому назад ездила в Париж и была там в большой моде. So you should know that my grandma, about 60 years ago, went to Paris and was there very popular. Народ бегал за нею, чтобы увидеть La Venus Moscovite. So народ means people. Народ might also mean nation, but here it just means a crowd, people. Бегал за нею, ran after her, because бегать за means to run after. So народ бегал за нею, so people ran after her. Чтобы, it's a shortening form. It's also used in modern Russian. It means in order to. Чтобы, the same. In order to see La Venus Moscovite. So that would be in French, like Venus, like Moscovian Venus. Yeah? So again, народ бегал за нею, чтобы увидеть La Venus Moscovite. People ran after her in order to see the Moscow Venus. Actually, that's Venus in English, sorry. The Moscovian Venus. Ришелье за нею волочился, и бабушка уверяет, что он чуть было не застрелился от ее жестокости. So, Richelieu was a prominent political figure at that time in France. Now Tomsky is saying Richelieu за нею волочился. Волочился, it's a kind of a slang word that even can be used in modern Russian, and it means was courting her or tried to win her. So that's волочился. So you can underline волочился was trying to win her heart. So Richelieu за нею волочился. So Richelieu was courting her or like was trying to win her heart. И бабушка уверяет. So уверять means to assure or to try to assure. So и бабушка уверяет, and the grandma is assuring or is trying to assure everyone. That is the meaning here. But you need to remember уверять. Уверять means to assure. Что он чуть было не застрелился. So чуть было не. You can underline all this expression and write above that almost. Like in Russian you say almost not did something, almost didn't do something. But in English we would say he almost did something. So this old lady is trying to assure everyone about Richelieu, что он чуть было не застрелился. Застрелился means shot himself. It comes from стрелять, which means to shoot. But застрелился, ся means himself, right? That's a reflexive thing. So застрелился, shot, didn't. So чуть было не застрелился basically mean he almost shot himself. But in Russian they would say he almost didn't shoot himself. So that would be the Russian expression. От means от basically means from, but here it means because of. Ее, so please put two dots above the second yes, so that becomes ее, her. Жестокости comes from жестокость, it means meanness. Meanness, because someone who is жестокий, he's a mean person. So жестокость would be a noun, meanness. So now you will, now look how it works. Ришелье за нею волочился, и бабушка уверяет, что он чуть было не застрелился от ее жестокости. So Richelieu was kind of dragging after her, but meaning he was trying to win her heart. And the grandma is assuring that he almost shot himself because of her meanness. Okay? Now please see how this whole sentence works, because that's the whole sentence. Народ бегал за нею, чтобы увидеть La Venus Moscovite. Ришелье за нею волочился, и бабушка уверяет, что он чуть было не застрелился от ее жестокости. So people ran after her in order to see the Moscovite Venus. Richelieu was trying to win her heart, and the grandma is assuring that he almost shot himself because of her meanness. So that's it, guys. We completed our goal for today. Now I'm going to do the second reading of this story. I'm gonna put the link to this second reading below this video, and you'll be able to listen to it repetitively. I'm going to start with «А если кто для меня непонятен?» from here. Listen. А если кто для меня непонятен, так это моя бабушка, графиня Анна Федотовна. «Как? Что?» — закричали гости. «Не могу постигнуть», — продолжал Томский, «каким образом бабушка моя не понтирует». «Да что ж тут удивительного?» — сказал Нарумов, что 80-летняя старуха не понтирует. «Так вы ничего про нее не знаете». «Нет, право ничего. О, так послушайте. Надобно знать, что бабушка моя лет 60 тому назад ездила в Париж и была там в большой моде. Народ бегал за нею, чтобы увидеть La Venus Moscovite. Ришелье за нею волочился, и бабушка уверяет, что он чуть было не застрелился от ее жестокости. So, guys, how do you feel? Can you feel that Russian classics sink in? That's good. Just come to our next lessons. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We have lots of interesting materials coming. And meanwhile, I wish you a good day, good mood, and lots of aesthetics in your life. Ciao, ciao.